Hello, and welcome to the podcast where passion and purpose collide. We are on a mission to interview women and the occasional token man about how their passion and purpose have collided to create healthy relationships and profitable businesses. I'm Elizabeth Denham, publisher of The Franchise Woman. I'm here with Rebecca Monet, President and Chief Scientist of Zoracle Profiles. Welcome to the show. We always start off with roses and thorns, our highs and lows of the week. And Rebecca, start us off. How's your week going?
Oh, Elizabeth, you probably can't relate to this, but I discovered a gray hair in my eyebrow. I mean, what the heck's going on here? Right? It was like horrifying to me. And it literally is like a thorn. I didn't know gray hair was so tough. Right? It's not like my red hair. It's like a thorn. I'm serious. It's kind of like horrifying. But it was funny because I was thinking about it. I'm like, no, this is another sign of aging. But I got to thinking, old ladies, frequently are painting on their eyebrows, kind of thing. And I always thought just as you age, you would get less and less eyebrows. And that's why you would paint them on. But I think what happens is it goes gray and then you basically just pluck them all out and then you have to paint them back on.
So, that's hilarious. I don't know if that's why or not. I know my mother's generation used to pluck, very thin eyebrows was the style. And eventually they stopped growing back. So they had thinner, but they still have eyebrows. My former mother-in-law had 0 eyebrows, and I think she plucked all hers out, but I'm not sure why, but she just drew it on with a pencil.
That's what my stepmother does. And I have a lot of hair. And I just think it's another gender thing, right? Because if you watch men as they age, they get more hair, right? In the nose and in their ears. And then I get
I was going to say, be glad it wasn't coming out of your ear.
I guess that's true. And then it appears as women, maybe we just start getting thinner eyebrows. I'm not looking forward to it. And I cannot see a rose in any of that other than with this, quarantine being lifted, maybe I can go get my eyebrows tinted or dyed or whatever they do. But otherwise I would have to live with this.
There is a solution. Did you pluck it or is it still there?
No, I'm still kind of in shock. You can't see it?
No, you can't. Let's get right up on the camera and see if we can see it. That is too funny.
So how about you, girl? What's your roses and thorns?
Well, we had a very big rose this past week. My daughter, who just graduated from college about a week ago, is a journalism graduate. And she was in the Hearst competition, which is like the Pulitzer for journalism students.
Wow.
And she won 2nd place in the nation for her reporting. And then she won best story overall for a story that she did on Buc-ee's. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but they're
Tell me about it.
Huge gas stations that have their own bakery. They have brisket. You can buy cheeses. They have a coffee bar. I mean, it's like a convenience store on steroids. They have 20 or 30 or 40 pumps. Their bathrooms are known for being the cleanest bathrooms you've ever been in. So she did this story because it was sort of, they're expanding. They're in Texas, they're in Florida, they're in Alabama. And it was just sort of a cute feature piece on what's going on. Why does everybody love Buc-ee's? They have lines miles long. And evidently it was a hit. The judge told her it was the only 1 out of 1,000 that she could remember. So.
Wow. So she must be.
That was very exciting.
That is very exciting. And to take a convenience store and turn it into an interesting, memorable story that is, worthy of this massive reward. I mean, I cannot even imagine taking such a simple topic and turning it into something so memorable. That's incredible.
Well, and it was published in the Washington Post. So it was interesting that they thought it was that interesting. She pitched it just as an intern and said, hey, what do you think of this? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And it ended up doing big things for her. She got a nice little bit of money that's going to help her get settled in her new apartment in Washington, D.C. And so that was a great week. The thorn is that my husband the other night came home from work about 10 o'clock and was shaking like a leaf. And when you see a big man shaking, it's like more disturbing on a bigger person than a smaller person, I think. And he wouldn't let me take his temperature. And finally, in the middle of the night, I said, let me take it. And it was 102.6. And he thought he was better and then got worse. So he finally got an antibiotic today. But he's caused me a little concern because he's not the greatest patient and doesn't want to be cared for in that way. He just wants to be left alone. And I just want to make sure he's taking good care of himself.
He's a macho man. He's a warrior. He's
invincible.
So he's invincible. He doesn't need caretaking. You know, it's a little temperature. What's the big deal, right?
That's the thing. His ringtone on my phone is the Rocky theme song, which he really relates to in his own mind. He loves that he's the Rocky theme song. So that tells you a little bit about his I'm invincible man attitude. But the funny thing is, he's the sweetest caretaker of me in the world. If I get sick, he will drop everything and take care of me and bring me food or whatever. He just doesn't want that.
He's a macho man. He's a provider. He's a protector, and so he gets a couple chinks in his armor. That's okay. That's
ain't taking him down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, well, it sounds like we had, some interesting things going on this week. I can't wait to hear the update on the eyebrow here.
I'll keep you posted
as we move forward. Yeah, for sure.